Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif continued his four-nation diplomatic tour on Thursday, arriving in Dushanbe, Tajikistan. This visit follows high-level meetings in Turkey, Iran, and Azerbaijan, during which Sharif, accompanied by Chief of Army Staff Field Marshal Asim Munir, expressed gratitude for support amid recent tensions with India. In a summit with Turkey and Azerbaijan, he reiterated Pakistan's openness to dialogue with India on Kashmir and counterterrorism, urging mutual sincerity. In Dushanbe, he will meet President Emomali Rahman to discuss bilateral cooperation and thank Tajikistan for its solidarity during the conflict. Sharif will also address the International Conference on Glaciers Preservation, highlighting Pakistan's climate initiatives. Meanwhile, in a groundbreaking move, Pakistan unveiled its first government-led strategic Bitcoin reserve. Announced by Bilal bin Saqib, the newly appointed special assistant to the Prime Minister on crypto and blockchain, the reserve symbolizes Pakistan's leap into digital finance. At Bitcoin Vegas 2025, Saqib revealed a national Bitcoin wallet to hold sovereign crypto assets, not for trade, but to signal long-term trust in decentralized finance. He also disclosed the allocation of 2,000 megawatts of surplus electricity to power Bitcoin mining and AI data centers, aiming to attract global investment.
Pakistan is a great case study when it comes to blockchain. We are also announcing 2,000 megawatts of electricity to mine Bitcoin and for AI data centers. So we want to welcome all miners to come to Pakistan, all the infrastructural players to come to Pakistan and build with us.
While this marks a tech-forward shift, Pakistan's regulatory stance on crypto remains cautious. Despite the establishment of the Pakistan Crypto Council, cryptocurrency is still not legally recognized by the State Bank of Pakistan. Ongoing parliamentary discussions highlight the urgency for a robust legal framework to manage risks like money laundering and ensure responsible digital asset integration into the economy. Despite the buzz, Finance Secretary Imdadullah Bosal clarified that cryptocurrency remains unregulated, with the SBP maintaining its 2022 ban. Lawmakers raised concerns about the legal ambiguity amid rising crypto usage and youth investments. While the Crypto Council was created via executive order, it lacks legal sanction, and lawmakers pressed for transparency on power allocations and regulatory progress. Moreover, the federal budget remains on track for June 10, according to finance advisor 𝐃𝐚𝐰𝐬, dismissing delay rumors tied to Eid-al-Adha. The Pakistan Economic Survey is scheduled for June 9, with focus expected on economic recovery and digital transformation. Meanwhile, according to ISPR, security forces neutralized 5 terrorists linked to the India-backed group Fitna Hindustan in Balochistan, seizing arms and reaffirming the nation's resolve against terrorism. In the judiciary, the Supreme Court resumed hearings on PTI's reserved seats. Justices reaffirmed that most judges, including minority opinions, recognized PTI's right as a parliamentary party, challenging the ECP's implementation delays. Proceedings resumed June 16. International condemnation of Israel's ongoing military campaign in Gaza continues to grow, with prominent public figures and rights groups urging immediate action. Over 300 actors, musicians, writers, and intellectuals, including Benedict Cumberbatch, Annie Lennox, and Gary Lineker, have signed an open letter to UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The letter, coordinated by refugee charity Choose Love, accuses the British government of complicity in Gaza and calls on it to help prevent and punish genocide. It challenges Starmer directly: "You can't call it intolerable, yet do nothing. What will you choose?" Meanwhile, global rights group Oxfam International has sharply criticized Israel's ongoing military campaign in Gaza, accusing it of pursuing a strategy aimed at the systematic dismantling and depopulation of the territory. In a statement reported by Al Jazeera, the UK-based charity said Israel's continued bombardment, coupled with mass displacement orders, has forced civilians into 5 overcrowded zones that make up less than 20% of Gaza. Oxfam condemned the blockade of aid and essential supplies into the Strip, asserting that Israel's actions go beyond targeting militants and amount to a deliberate campaign of forced displacement, a move the group described as a war crime. For over 600 days, Israel has been saying it's targeting Hamas, but it is civilians who have been corralled, bombed, and killed en masse every day, said Bushra Khalidi, Oxfam's policy lead for the occupied Palestinian territory. The organization urged world powers to step in and apply meaningful pressure on Israel to end the siege, warning that inaction risks allowing further devastation of Gaza's already devastated population and infrastructure. The Trump administration signaled Thursday that it may delay immediate action to revoke Harvard University's ability to enroll international students, opting instead for a more prolonged prolonged administrative review. This shift follows backlash and legal scrutiny over the administration's recent efforts, which cited concerns including Harvard's alleged failure to adequately address anti-Semitism on campus. According to a court filing, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security (DHS) issued Harvard a formal notice of intent on Wednesday to withdraw its certification under the Federal Student and Exchange Visitor Program (SEVP). The university now has 30 days to respond to the notice. The move comes just ahead of a scheduled court hearing that will determine whether to extend a temporary restraining order blocking the administration's initial decision. The case has drawn national attention, raising broader questions about academic freedom, campus climate, and the federal government's role in overseeing higher education institutions. While the administration appears to be backing off from an immediate crackdown, the notice signals that the dispute is far from over, leaving Harvard and its international student population in a state of uncertainty. A U.S. trade court has blocked most of President Donald Trump's tariffs, declaring that the president exceeded his authority. The Court of International Trade ruled that the U.S. Constitution grants Congress, not the president, the exclusive power to regulate international commerce. The decision permanently invalidates all of Trump's blanket tariff orders issued since January under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEPA. The court emphasized that its decision wasn't about the effectiveness of Trump's tariff strategy but about legality. It stated that federal law doesn't permit the use of IEPA to impose such sweeping duties. The ruling drew strong reactions from financial markets, with the U.S. dollar rallying and global stocks surging. The court ordered the Trump administration to issue new directives complying with the ruling within 10 days. Within minutes, the administration filed a notice of appeal, questioning the court's authority. Despite the injunction, tariffs on specific industries like automobiles, steel, and aluminum remain in place. These were issued under a different statute and were not addressed in this ruling. The White House maintained that U.S. trade deficits constitute a national emergency, arguing it is not for unelected judges to decide how to respond to such emergencies. This decision stems from two lawsuits, one filed by the Liberty Justice Center on behalf of 5 small businesses, and the other by 12 U.S. states. The companies argued that the tariffs harmed their ability to do business. The court agreed, stating the tariffs were unlawful not just for these plaintiffs but universally. Oregon's Attorney General Dan Rayfield, leading the state's case, called the tariffs reckless and economically harmful. At least 5 other legal challenges to Trump's tariff strategy are still pending. Meanwhile, analysts from Goldman Sachs noted that while the ruling increases uncertainty, it doesn't prevent sector-specific tariffs or other legal routes for broad duties. Separately, Elon Musk is leaving the Trump administration after a turbulent stint as a special government employee for the Department of Government Efficiency. His exit, confirmed by the White House, comes just days before his 130-day term was set to end. Musk had spearheaded aggressive staff cuts but faced pushback from cabinet members and drew controversy by criticizing Trump's tax bill. Despite tensions, Musk thanked Trump via social media. The DOGE initiative will continue, but with agencies now looking to reassert control over staffing and budgets in his absence.